Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Monish. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. Over time, I've realized that I don't enjoy tax and accounting as much as I like writing and motivating people, and hence my YouTube and Instagram channel. So today I thought we'd speak about the biggest failure, one of the biggest failures I think in my life that had a significant impact in the way I thought. And that one failure was actually the turning point, I could say, of my life, where I started evolving to be a stronger and a better person. So there are two types of failures, I feel. One is where you don't try at all, and one is where you give in heart and soul. I've done both. So back in school, I was never interested in studying. So I never studied, and I used to fail a lot of subjects, and that really didn't hurt. It just hurt that my parents felt bad, and I felt that I've just let them down. But it really didn't hurt me personally. The failure that I'm going to talk about today is where I gave in heart and soul and I failed at it. This was back in the second semester when I was studying accounting in university. I had just come to Australia and I worked two jobs at the time. I worked as a dishwasher and I worked as a bartender. With work and adjusting to life in Australia, life in itself was pretty hard. And through that, we had a subject called financial accounting, which was a pretty hard subject at the time. And having the ambition of being an accountant, financial accounting obviously is a really, really important subject. So I worked extremely hard for that subject. I used to study on the train to and from work. I used to study through my lunch breaks, and I basically studied whenever I got a little chance to study. And on the other hand, my roommates and friends, they really whiled away their time. Yes, they did have jobs, but they did not focus as much on studying. And they often mocked me, saying that, look what you're doing and you're not going to get anywhere with this. So what happened is, in week 11, the teacher gave us 3 questions that was slightly different from what was actually taught in the textbook. My friends and roommates, they just studied those 3 questions really well because they were really out of time and they could not really go through a 500-page textbook. I, on the other hand, skipped those 3 questions thinking that it's not going to be that important, and I revised the entire syllabus one more time. But what happened in the final exam is that we had 4 questions and 3 of them were the questions that were taught in week 11. Because of that, what happened is that my friends got a high distinction in the subject and I ended up failing the subject. Now, it was a really hard moment for me because I actually gave everything that I had into studying and into preparing for this unit, and I didn't actually get through. And my friends, on the other hand, did the bare minimum and ended up getting a high distinction. A bit unfair, and that's the first time I actually was faced with the world can be unfair with you. So it was really hard to actually go to my friends and tell them, look, I actually failed this unit. They actually mocked me, and I know they spoke behind my back about it. What was also really hard was that in the next semester, I saw them going for financial accounting 2, which is the next subject, and I was actually stuck going to the same lectures again, even though I knew the subject so thoroughly. While attempting it for the second time, I felt really bad for the first few weeks. I felt actually really bad attending the subject again, but then I made up my mind that I'm going to give it my best again and redo the subject. I ended up getting a high distinction in that subject, and that was me for the first time in my life facing failure that I actually gave my heart and soul into and overcoming it. That particular incident taught me that the world actually isn't fair all the time, but you've got to keep trying. To believe in myself when nobody actually believed me. And going back to 2007, it was very hard to communicate with family back home because technology was not as good as it is today. So I felt really lonely, I felt really lost, and I don't think at the time I was mature enough to face so many mixed emotions. But for some reason, I just held on and I studied again. I put all the work again and I ended up getting a high distinction. And what that did is that gave me a lot of confidence. I started believing in myself. I started believing that however shallow I feel, I have the ability to actually bounce back from it. And that lesson sticks to me even today. Ironically, with my friends, none of them actually became a chartered accountant, and none of them, like myself, have their own practice. So to you who's watching, always remember, failure isn't the end of you. It's actually the beginning of you. And the only reason you fail is actually because you try something new, or you've actually not done something well enough to be successful at it. So never give up. Try that one more time. If you fail again, try another time and another time, because all you learn from overcoming failure is immense self-confidence, and that will take you really, really far in life. As always, hope you enjoyed this video, learned something from it. Do like, comment and share and support my page. Thank you.